Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Habitual Line Crosser. All right, Knox, come on. As soon as I start talking, he's like, oh, I gotta say hi. Oh. Say hi. Up there. Speak. Okay. God, your breath smells like your butt. That's awful. All right, we're gonna shut off that. Hey, what is going on? Article. Maybe, hold on. Silent recession? What? Hold on. All right, go on, bud. I love you. God, your breath is awful. How was my 4th of July? My 4th of July was not great. I had no power. The power went out at my house here and it did not come back on until 4 in the morning. So that was an interesting experience. What is going on, everybody? Lockheed Martin. Make me Mecca, my life is yours. We may be in a silent recession, really. So I haven't seen that article yet. A lot of people have reached out to me about the modified SM60 AIM-174. I got to do some more homework on it. I talked about it before, but people want me to talk about it again. So people definitely want me to touch on that. Was it loud? I'm sorry. Oh, was Knox barking? Was loud? My bad. Butterworth as YF23 making Alfredo right now. I need to do more collabs, guys. So I just got back. Last weekend I wasn't able to stream because I was in Tampa, Florida. I'd never been to Florida before. I searched long and hard to try and find... Are you licking... Stop licking your foot and groaning. That's weird, bro. Anyways, I searched long and hard. You know what? We're just going to leave that there. Someone's going to clip that. Anyways, I searched far and wide for a real Florida man, and I think I finally saw one. My missus and I, we were driving, and I looked, and there was a dude at the bus stop, no socks, sleeveless t-shirt, big old beard, cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and he was yelling at somebody who wasn't there, and I was like, that is what I expected to see in Florida. So I finally saw one. I better be talking about Chevron. I don't know what's going on with Chevron. Let me get... Where's my fucking pen? Mrs. Linecrosser stole one of my pens, so I got to use my nice one. Somebody sent me this a while back. What's going on with Chevron? So, Chevron. Question mark. I will look into that. Hold on. I think I missed one from Ohio Trucker. There's now a plushie of European Texas and Polish F-22. She is Polish herself. Her family came over from the States to escape communism. She is the only person that I know that hates commies more than Nick. Oh, so I remember that. You were making plushies, or a family was making plushies for your like niece or something like that. That's super cool. I'm actually really happy to see that. British sabotage. Them bastards did. Uh-oh, I just got tagged. Somebody clipped it. It just went off in my Discord. You make dig chews that help with bad breath. Yeah, so I give him all those, and then I have this like foam spray that I put on their teeth, and he chews on bones. It's just, he spends most of his time licking his asshole. So that's why he smells like that. Thoughts on presidents. So my thoughts on the two candidates that are running right now. Again, I try not to mess with politics too much. I do touch geopolitics, but the way I see the country going, and I mean this with the utmost respect, is right now we're deciding who is going to be driving the bus that is about to crash into a wall anytime. Like, that's... Neither of them can stop it. It's going to happen regardless. But we're going to vote on that. So, what I will tell people is that, I don't really pick sides, whether you're Republican, you're Democrat, whoever, independent. Just go out and vote. That's what I want people to do. Go out and cast your vote. Because your vote... And don't listen to... I don't like considering myself a fucking celebrity, but other celebrities that are out there, their vote counts just as much as yours. So, like, when people are like, you need to vote for this person because I say so. Fuck that. That is being full of yourself. Just go vote, man, because their vote matters just as much as yours does. Had my truck stolen out in Kansas City. I don't need help replacing it. Just need to replace my tourniquets replaced. Wait, what? Pinking, what is happening? Are you okay? Missed you last week. Chadwick, I was not available last week. I was in Florida. I was in Tampa, Florida, and I went down there, and this is the thing. I'm not a huge fan of people, okay? I like seeing people from a distance. I like people watching, but I really hate when people are in my fucking way. And Mrs. Linecrosser is going to text me because she's going to be like, don't say anything stupid. There was some frat house that was having like their get together while I was down there in Tampa, and there's like 30,000 of these motherfuckers down there, right? Which is fine, cool, whatever. Dudes were in my way everywhere. They were in my way getting on and off the plane. They were in my way in the fucking airport. They were in my way when I was getting my goddamn rental car. And I'm almost positive that one of those motherfuckers, or multiple of them, jumped into my Uber after the ball. Because yes, I was at the AUSA Army Ball with Preston Stewart and Ryan Macbeth and Chris Cappy. And we called an Uber because my wife and I both been drinking, and like it was like, we're on our way to your destination. It's like someone jumped in our Uber. I'm pretty sure it was guys from that fraternity. So I was a little frustrated with them. I was like, fucking just stay out of my way. Just go do your own thing, man. But I touched the ocean for the first time in the United States. I've touched the ocean, but only in the Strait of Hormuz, off the coast of Abu Dhabi, Dubai, whatever, same country. United Arab Emirates. So I did do that. What's better, the M1A1 or the Leopard 2A5? I think that those ones, because they both have the capability of penetrating one another, it comes down to crew and who sees who first. That's what it's going to be. How do you want to get screwed in a nutshell? Yeah, that's fair. That's the way it is. That's a great way to put it. Cast your vote for liberty. Bingo. Be an informed voter. Boom. 36 trillion in debt. Whoever wins can't fix that. No, we've had one president who managed to balance the budget that I've ever known of. He's the only president who's ever balanced the budget, but he did not have hawk to it with that woman. I'm sorry, it's not a great, it's not a great impression, but I tried. Okay.
Would you
Wither, welcome.
I'd intercept me.
Welcome back, HLC. Today was a shit show in my parts. People don't know how to throw away trash and fireworks.
Oh, I hate that, man. Like, if you're going to go anywhere, like, dude, my whole street, we had 70-mile-an-hour winds last night and rain. So that's why, like, I had no power from probably 7:30 last night until fucking 4:30 in the morning. And people had their trash cans out because they didn't get the email from housing that I got that said, hey, trash is moved to a different day. So whatever. So my trash cans are strapped down on the side of my house because I've been in Oklahoma for a while. Trash cans and trash all over the fucking street. And what did everyone do? They just picked up their fucking cans. There's still trash out in the middle of the fucking street. I'm like, come on, man. Have a little bit more pride in where you live. But yeah. Chevron versus NRDC doctrine was overturned. Gun laws, W. I need to look in that Chevron versus NR. I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. I need to look into it, okay? Drop boxes? Okay. Yeah, people suck. Army NCO confirmed. Say the stupid thing. I guarantee I hate communism more than Nick. I don't know. I don't know, man. Nick, like, this is the thing, guys. If you go into a bathroom, it's like Bloody Mary, right? Go into a bathroom, look in the mirror, turn out the light, and say communism 3 times. He'll show up and tell you you're a fucking idiot. I love that dude. Great guy, man. Getting crazy in Hawaii with rim pack in full swing. I would love to come out there for that. Like, so we went to, like, my wife and I, we like doing things. Like, we're not like big boozy people. So we like going to experience things. So we went, I had to try a bunch of different food while I was down there in Tampa. I will admit, she thinks, what's the name of it? There was a pizza place down there she took me to. She said it's the best pizza she's ever had. And I was like, it was okay. It was, I mean, I wasn't super impressed, but it was good. You know, it didn't make me vomit, which is like better than 50% of what you find here in Lawton, Oklahoma. Getting crazy and oh yeah, the rim pack thing. I would love to go participate in that. There's so much things that I want to do, but I've realized like I've been spending Untouchables pizza. That's what she just texted me. There's so many things that I want to do, but I don't have enough time off in the military. Like I don't have enough leave, and I'm trying to like, because I still want to see my family, but I want to go see like historical sites. So it's like I'm at the point where I kind of want to wait until I'm out of the military, so that way I can go like. I want to go see the fucking New Jersey. I want to go see the Texas. I want to go see fucking the Mighty Mo. I want to go to Pearl Harbor. I want to go to Normandy. I want to go to the Ardennes. I mean, Auschwitz-Birkenau, Treblinka. Like, there's so many places. Iwo Jima you can't really get to, but maybe Iwo Chichny. I don't know. Like, there's so many fucking cool historical sites that I want to go. I want to go to Gettysburg. I've never been to fucking Gettysburg. I want to go. I hear it's sobering. Like, this is the thing. People are like, oh, you know, it was really hard to go through. I went to the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial, which, by the way, really good exhibit, super sobering, really good thing. Like, 10 out of 10, go see it. But it brings it home because you see a lot of the people's personal effects, and they're like, these glasses belong to this person who was killed. And that was really a big part for me. Do I see Ukraine use the Yak-52 to shoot down drones World War One style? I did. I think it's a 25. Yak-25. Might be. I could be wrong. I could be incorrect. I did see that. Not sure how to incorporate it yet. I have had some people make some suggestions. Oh, I gotta scroll back up. Every time I do that. Every damn time. AIM 260 design lead to be something like Pack 3. I'm going to look into AIM 260 because I saw the AIM 174, which is a modified SM6, but I need to see AIM 260. Because that would make me very curious. I'm interested about the AIM 174, the SM6 that they modified, because it can reach further than the radar on the F-18 can see. And to most people, it'd be like, well, that's dumb. Why would you do that? For a long time, the United States has been working on integrated fire control networks via satellites, other planes. Hell, when I fired my 2 missiles, they were grabbed by, I can say this now, they were grabbed by an F-35 and guided in. That's a real thing. Mid-flight, I let go of my Patriot missiles and the F-35 said, cool, I got it, and just grabbed them and sent them in. It's a real thing. Happened in 2019, 5 years ago. So, we're getting there, folks. It was nice chatting with you on the plane. Oh shit, that was you, dude! What is up, man? Hope you enjoyed your trip. What is going on? So, Frozen Cesium. We were on our way to Florida, and I was getting on the plane, and I was looking for a middle seat and a window seat, because I like the window, because I'm a bitch when I fly. I don't like flying. And this gentleman, I was walking by, and he's like, hey, man, I love your videos. And he had 2 open seats next to him, and I was like, all right, bet. So we started talking, and then I kind of nodded off and stuff like that, and then we took a picture together when we got to Tampa and stuff. Man, good to hear from you. Good to see you here. Hey, thank you, man. You were awesome, by the way. I try and have good interactions with everybody, but I'm a little bit goofy sometimes, so it's good to have you back here, man. Excited to join the Air Force once I'm 18. That's what I'm talking about, my dude. Bill Clinton definitely needs a new skit character. Daddy Linecrosser is live. Daddy Wither. Is Wither now a daddy too? Because I know Daddy Rob is a daddy. Let me see. So apparently we can airdrop canisters of hypersonics out of cargo aircraft. Am I wrong or not? Genuinely don't know if I'm wrong. So, okay. Right now the Arrow, there's a hypersonic the United States has been working on. So here's the thing. Okay, how can I get into this and explain it quickly? Because chat is still rolling. Creating a terminal hypersonic is really, really difficult. Imagine like flying an aircraft, right? And then all of a sudden you need this aircraft to go under the ocean and hit something on the bottom. You'd shred the aircraft, right? Well, it's the same thing when people like hypersonics. It's easy to make something go that fast outside the atmosphere. Inside the atmosphere, way more drag, way more things affecting it. So turning, or even just the heat that builds up on the outside of that object is astronomical, right? So we're being transparent. Can we say, yeah, we made a hypersonic object? Yeah. Like everybody who has a space program has made a hypersonic object. Like it's not really a hard thing to do. We're trying to make a terminal hypersonic or a hypersonic cruise missile, which is exponentially more difficult. There's been some hiccups with it, but Lockheed Martin did a mock-up. It's a I don't know if you call it a theory, because they've probably done some math with it too. It might be just, I don't know. But they did put twin revolving hypersonic launchers inside of the back of a C-17, which is, it's unnecessary. Like, we already have Rapid Dragon. Why would you do that? But God bless America. Like, and the fact that came out like right before the 4th of July, like Lockheed was like, look guys, they went over to Skunk Works and like, y'all got some weird shit. And they're like, well, yeah, we've been working on this like revolver hypersonic thing. Cool. Let's make it a graphic and we're going to push it out right before the 4th of July. Your tourniquets were my truck that was stolen. Oh, that's what it is, Pinking. Oh, fuck, dude, that sucks. They were like cat tourniquets or something? Does you play DCS? I don't have time for DCS. Although very recently I did pick up the First Descendant. It's free. So while I'm waiting on Enshrouded updates, I've been playing that. Because Enshrouded is my addiction. I love Enshrouded, but every once in a while. So if you guys are playing the First Descendant and you run across someone, my character's name is not HLC, but if you see Fuzzy Bacon running around out there, that's me. I am Fuzzy Bacon. How are things going? It is going good, man. I've been busy. I had Eli reached out to me again. He was trying to get to another podcast together, but that I don't know if that's going to happen because like my timelines are so fucking tight right now with everything going on, guys. Got a lot of things happening in my life. I want to share them with you, but we're not there yet. Like there's so many things. You guys see what's happening on the surface level. There's so many things happening behind the scenes that I want to share. I want to be like, guys, this is happening. This, I'm doing this. What about this? Like I want to do that, but I can't. It's not time yet. It ain't time yet. It ain't time. Chevron is referring to Chevron Defense. Took a big L recently. Hail to Clarence Thomas. Okay, so, all right, Chevron. I'm going to write it down. Zadok? I have Chevron v. NRDC. I have that written down. And I know Clarence Thomas is a justice on the Supreme Court. Wither, I'm trying to catch up still.
I'd intercept me.
I'm not a daddy, I just like supporting YouTubers. Also, what part of Tampa Bay were you at?
So we flew in to Tampa Airport. We stayed right there by the airport because at the downtown there was like a Hilton is where the AUSA Army Ball was. And my wife, she used to live down there years ago in St. Pete. So we cruised across the bay, went over to St. Pete, went to the beach there, and then we went up to Clearwater. We went to the Clearwater Aquarium because, again, we're old people. I like shit like that. And... it was just, I mean, honestly, I blew in, blew out. Like, I showed up on a Friday. I was kind of tired because we traveled literally all day. And then Monday, oh my God, Monday was rough. So I was off for Monday, but I had to go back to work on Tuesday. But Tuesday is when I got that. I don't know if you guys saw I posted. I had a needle like this long shoved into my hip. That was fun. 0 out of 10 recommend that, by the way. We got up at like 3:30 in the morning Florida time, which is like midnight Oklahoma time. And we flew all the way back to Oklahoma. We drove all the way back to our house. And then we went grocery shopping. Like, I was so fucking burned out on Monday. It was rough. It was nuts. But thank you so much, Wither. Honestly, guys, this is the thing. And I don't want to downplay what Wither's doing here or anything like that. I'm scrolling back up. If you guys can't give, that's fine. I'm totally okay with that. All I will ever ask is just watch my videos. That's all I will ever ask of you guys, right? That's all I ever will ask for. So, every time Rimpak goes on, I keep imagining Mighty Mo's like Grandpa Buff telling stories of the younger warships. I need to do some classic Mighty Mo shit. I need to do some more classic videos. Honestly, the news is kind of slow right now, and we haven't gotten any good things. So maybe I'll do a historical video here coming up soon. Link 16, my guy. So weapons, yes and no. Link 16, okay, all right, hold on. Trying to think about what I can say weapons. So Link 16 allows identification of friend or foe. It allows joint integration of certain networks, especially if you're on the right time sync. But Link 16 does not possess the bandwidth capability to provide high fidelity engagement data. So that's why they've come up with something called the IFCN, the Integrated Fire Control Network. So you're right, Link 16, but imagine Link 16, they can shoot missiles and pass them between everything, which is super fucking scary and awesome. Because America's America. Gettysburg is a blast. Went there once a year when I was in Scouts. Was my favorite trip each year. I would love to. I know very little about the American Civil War. A little here and there. It's probably like it's one of my more embarrassing. Like I don't know enough about it. Same thing with the American Revolution. I know a fuck ton about World War II, but like the American Revolution, the American Civil War, I don't know a lot about. So I do want to check those out. I learned a lot about the what the hell battle did that happen? Was that the Mexican Revolution when the Alamo happened? Oh man, now I'm all fucked up. I went to the Alamo. Chevron in a nutshell, directed courts to defer to an agency's reasonable interpretation of an ambiguous statute that administers, translation, we make shit up and we go to the courts. Listen to us because we're the experts. That sounds like 50% of, actually probably about 80% of my job in the military. Make shit up, just go with it. I tell you right now, that's, for any of you who are in here who are thinking about joining, or you're a new soldier and you're just watching this, that's perfectly fine, okay? Totally get it. When I was a soldier, I would look at that E7 and I'm like, man, that dude knows what's going on. He's in the know. He knows everything that's happening. He's on top of that shit. And now that I'm an E7, that motherfucker was a liar. That dude didn't know anything. He made that shit up all the time. And I do it too. I don't have any idea what's going on, man. F-22 says line, why F-23? I'd intercept you. I think that would be, so somebody it was a couple weeks ago. I have it in my notes. Someone said that Japan is creating a 5th gen fighter that looks like a YF-23, that they took the plans for the YF-23 and they were trying to put it in production. I couldn't find any sources to confirm that because the only thing I was able to find is that Japan was going to produce the YF-23, but that program got nixed in like 2016. So if anyone has any sources, drop them in my Discord and tag me, because I'm genuinely curious about this whole thing, because I've had enough people mention it. It's like, okay, maybe I can't find something on this and there's more information out there. That's why Canada went for F-35 planes and Aegis for our River class air defense destroyers. We have a bunch of other purchases in play. Canada is starting to modernize, and I'm very happy about that. But you know what's funny is I was reading an article, and it was designed, the article was written to make America look like we weren't doing very good. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like bias in an article. And the article was written like, oh, America can't produce the weapons that people are trying to purchase. It's like, yeah, because your war in Ukraine has shown everyone that American shit works. So, like, we can't produce HIMARS fast enough. We can't produce MLRS fast enough. We can't produce ATACMS fast enough. We can't produce F-35s fast enough. We can't upgrade F-18s fast enough. Like, the amount of Americans that are working their fingers to the bone trying to get these systems moving.
Would you intercept me?
Thank you, Wither.
I'd intercept me.
You should go to Vicksburg. It's pretty important to the Civil War and it's relatively close to you.
Vicksburg. I'm all about it. I'm gonna put a star next to that. Vicksburg, and it's nearby me here. Let me see what it's all about. Okay, I will check into that. I'm all about history. I fuck with history. We're the only country that have a hypersonic manhole cover. If you guys are not familiar with the hypersonic manhole cover, and I'm paraphrasing here, I can't remember all the details off the top of my head. There was in the 50s when we were testing nuclear weapons, they wanted to test one underground to kind of see what it would do, to test if it would actually set off an earthquake and all that other stuff. And on top of it, like way up, was a single manhole cover. So when it blew up, you had the entirety of an atomic blast being pressurized through a manhole cover, which is what, like 24 inches wide? And they had a super high speed camera. It's like fucking 15,000 frames a second. They saw the manhole cover for one frame. I guess years later someone did the math and they're like, yeah, it's out of orbit. Like, it's gone. That thing is completely fucking gone. It's probably out of our solar system now. Like, and I love that. I fucking love that. I was on an archaeological dig in Ireland for a group of American students. Their lecturer used to recover lost Americans from wars like Vietnam. That is cool as fuck. I was watching, there was a show. Shit, I can't remember the name of the show. I watch a lot of like history documentaries, and there was this group of people that were like going around Europe, and they were trying to find like old war sites and see if they could find anybody who was like still there and unidentified. And they ended up finding I believe it was a French soldier. They could tell from the uniform. So then they took the remains to France, and I guess France has a World War II memorial that they accept the remains from, which is super fucking cool, man. Chevron is equal or greater than decision 1984. Gave reference to admin agency on the agency made rule day. Looper Bright Enterprises fish case overruled his thumb on scale year fave 27 alpha. El Tejon? That sounds like a lot of words that I should know. I'm rereading it right now because I'm fucking hooked on phonics style. I just got to look into the Chevron versus NRDC. Because I'm not understanding. I know you guys are trying here. I know you're trying so much. HLC, just want to say hi. Can't stay for long. We'll be here next stream. Keep rocking. Guns and Glory. You take it easy, man. I'm trying to catch as many of them as I can, guys. Oh, damn it. It fucking shot down again. I'm trying not to miss any super chats. Okay. There we go. On another interesting news bit. I saw and don't know if it's legit or not. I almost said legal because fucking hooked on phonics or not, but there are talks that Israel possibly buy their Patriots and give them to Ukraine. I thought they didn't use them. Yes and no. So they were an interim fix, and the same reason that the United States bought Iron Dome a couple years ago. We bought like 2 batteries of Iron Dome because our IFPC program was having some issues. IFPC is improved fire protection capability or something like that. Fire's protection capability. It's our short-range air defense system that'll be a static system. I don't know what happened. I know some of the guys who were on the test, and when they came back, they obviously had signed non-disclosure agreements, and this was years ago. And I was like, hey, what happened? And they're like, we told them to buy Iron Dome. It didn't go well. And then they walked away. And I was like, huh. So we bought 2 batteries of Iron Dome, and Israel has bought American Patriot, but now I don't know if it's Arrow or David Sling, which one is in the same bracket, so they're not really using Patriot. So it would be more beneficial to Ukraine. I did notice that Ukraine is using Hawk to shoot down cruise missiles, which is a capability that I wasn't aware that Hawk had. I support but can't give what I don't have. Joshua, never feel obligated, man. I just want you to enjoy and watch my videos. That's all I will ever ask from anybody. That's all I will ever ask. Where's the other stream? The other stream? Yesterday, I wish someone would touch the boats. It's been a while since we got to let off some steam. Of course I don't want to put Americans in danger. Like, it would be asinine and like really some chest beating to like want to put Americans in danger. But you got to understand, like, almost no one serving in the military today saw the unrelenting force that the United States and NATO can apply when they need to, right? People alive have seen it, like, on TV, but like no one really serving, because it happened in 1991 in Desert Storm. And this is the thing, I realized I love World War II. I love World War II. But as I've started to learn more about strategy and tactics, Desert Storm is probably the greatest example of American tactics without tying your hands behind your back with political bullshit in the 21st century. I really think so. Well, 20th century. Oh, all right. What do I think about Project 2025? I'm not familiar with which one Project 2025 is. I've heard of a lot of different projects for 2025, 2035, 2030. Do you see that Slinger weapon system in Ukraine? Russian drones just getting swatted? No, I didn't see that. I'm going to write that down. Slinger weapon system. HLC, you really named yourself HLC's FBI agent? I fucking love that. I'm taking a picture of that. Hold on, I just saw that. I can't believe I'm taking a fucking picture. I am so proud of having my own FBI agent. Look, I know I have my own FBI agent, and he probably enjoys his life because he just watches the shit I do, and he's like, man, this motherfucker's hilarious. Because I love that. I love that. What descendant are you playing as? I'm playing as Ajax right now, and it's because I've never been a glass cannon style player. I always like the slow, lunky, big, soak a lot of damage or healer paladin style of play. So that's what I'm playing as. I'm playing as Ajax. Yes, they were Cats Gen 7. Hold on. Combined arms training strategy? I'm trying to understand. There's so many acronyms that I know, man. I'm so sorry. If it ain't Florida, it ain't America. Sometimes you just got to wing it, bro. That's all I ever do. The kid is going to be ultra jealous, pissed off at the Yak 52 getting interceptions. Add insult to injury, he was retired in 1998. Yep. When I saw that, I was like, I don't know. Like, this is the thing. The easy thing, it's low-hanging fruit to say the kid is pissed off, but it's shooting down drones, which is kind of equates to shooting down a balloon. So I don't know. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do. The F-22's right here. What do you think about Project 2025? I'm unfamiliar with Project 2025. Tell you what, I will Google it right now. Let's see what it is. I probably know it by a different name. Well, just at surface level, what I just read here is apparently that is an aggressive expansion of presidential powers in the United States planned for 2025. And I will tell you that absolute power corrupts in any capacity. Doesn't matter how good your intentions are. Nobody in the world should have absolute power. Power corrupts. The beauty of the American political system is there's checks and balances. So I don't know. I don't know enough about it to make an assessment. What's my comfort game? Ooh. Age of Empires. Age of Empires 2. Or maybe some Command and Conquer. I like real-time strategy. It's just a good way to shut my brain off and do whatever. New Olympic sport, Patriot fires missile. 2 teams of F-35s try to guide the missile into the opposite team. Missile has a non-lethal warhead, round-based. Waiting for the Gripen. You want a Gripen? You know what? I need to do more homework on the Gripen. So I'll see about adding the Gripen. No source, but I also do remember specifically reading that Japan was interested in the YF-23 within the last year or so. Okay, that's that. I looked for it. I was unable to find anything like definitive that said, "Hey, we're working on this." Wait, so the Russians tried to replicate the cover with their tanks? Can't even do that right now. No. Oh, almost. Are we almost at 1,000? Sorry, I'm not looking at my numbers. Oh, we're at 800. Oh, it made it smaller. I can't see. Oh no. There we go. Okay, I gotta put it there. We've got a suggestion for a character. You can do the Bondana? Ukrainian Bondana? I'm not even familiar with what that is. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I dated B-Jans, whose dad was involved in the Hawk missile thing in the late 80s. No shit. Hawk was, it was a good system for the time. It just, it didn't last because Patriot developed so quickly. And Patriot was a happy accident. I don't know if you guys understand, like if I've ever really told the story, or for some of y'all in here, Patriot was a happy accident. The entire Army air and missile defense idea almost disappeared. Like it almost just like poof went away because almost a third of the Army's entire budget goes to air and missile defense. Like almost a third. Oh shit, Wither.
Would you intercept
Thank
me?
you, Wither.
I'd intercept me.
What do you think about Ukrainians shooting down with shotguns? More dangerous skeet shooting.
It's definitely all or nothing style skeet shooting, but it's effective. I'm going to get back to my point here in a second, but in 2016 on Aldafra Air Base, that's what the security forces were doing. We didn't have drone busters or ninjas or FS lids or anything like that back then. So they would, when we would see a drone or detect a small drone, it'd be like, hey, it's over here. And the security forces would roll out there with 12 gauges and like try and shoot down the drone. Cheap and it's effective in the right capacity. At night, it's a lot harder to do that though. Okay, so Patriot was a happy accident. The program almost went completely belly up. They were about getting rid of it because it's so fucking expensive. And they were like, well, it's the juice ain't worth the squeeze. We don't got the money for this. Well, in 1991, the United States invaded, technically Kuwait because we were pushing Saddam out of Kuwait. And Saddam was like, fuck you. And he fired some missiles at Saudi Arabia. Fucking hashtag the first ever guided missile to guided missile intercept was American Patriot in Saudi Arabia in 1991. Fun fact. And when they hit, it was not a good hit. It was like 25% accuracy, but that showed the potential. They were like, wait a minute, this idea might work. And at this time, no one had missile defense. Like it wasn't even an idea. Well, it was an idea, but like no one thought you could ever shoot down a missile with another missile. So it really revolutionized the way like that we treated certain types of conflicts. So when that came about and we just grabbed it and fucking ran with it. So it was a happy accident. Patriot Arrow is the best Patriot system. See Robin Hood Men in Tights. Robin Hood Men in Tights is a fucking classic. I don't care who you are. If you've never seen Robin Hood Men in Tights, you need to go see it. Also, my wife had never seen it. It just occurred to me today. She had never seen it. Ever. And I want to make her watch it. She'd never seen Over the Top. She was like, what's Over the Top about? And I said, well, it's a heartfelt movie about a father and son reconnecting after his mother passes away because his father and his mother were estranged. And his grandfather doesn't like his dad because his dad is a trucker and they learn to love each other all over again.
Would you intercept
Noble
me?
91! What is up, my dude?
I'd intercept me.
By the way, you missed an opportunity on the 4th vid for Russia to bash UK. Cause during our War of Independence, Russia's leader Catherine the Great, one of 2 actually good leaders, blamed the king for letting things getting so bad we revolted.
Really? I just learned that. See, my Revolutionary War history is not that great. That's fucking amazing. But jumping back, by the way, thank you. Jumping back to the idea there, and she was like, oh, that doesn't sound half bad. And I was like, and they bond over the love of arm wrestling. She's like, there it is. And Over the Top, you just have to watch it. It's cheesy, it's awful, but it's an arm wrestling movie. It's fucking great. Okay, Over the Top is a great movie. Let me see. Funny Funny you mentioned you play Age of Empires 2 while I'm tuning in while queuing up for a game. What's your ELO? I don't know what ELO means. I am sorry, I'm not familiar with ELO. Sorry. Ryan Macbeth is here. Is he here? There's no way Ryan Macbeth is in here. I met Ryan Macbeth. He's a super nice guy. Like, honestly, I love Ryan. Before I went to Tampa, I never met him in person. And the thing is, if I have not met you in person, I kind of keep you at arm's distance. Nothing personal, but when I met him, he was really like just down to earth, super easygoing guy. Really wanted to help and talk about everything. Like, he was just a really good dude. So I've scrolled all the way up, but I think I lost some guys. I'm sorry. I got to catch up. So it seems the Russian new defense minister, economist, seems to have made big changes to Russian logistics in a good way. They need to figure it out sooner or later. Ukraine ever going to get their F-16s anytime soon? Yes. I mean, I have no idea, but to me, if I said they were getting there by December, I would deliver them in July. Absolutely.
Would you intercept me?
Wither again!
I'd intercept me.
You are saying gripping wrong and pissing off weapons. It's pronounced like this, greepin.
The greepin? Is I will admit, like 80% of what I do is interact with people here. 20% is just pissing off weapons. I love him. He's a good dude, though. By the way, upgrade for the buff actually butts the gunner seat back to use to control drones. Oh, that's actually really cool. I didn't know that. Like, I heard about the drone thing, but I didn't know that was a function coming back to specifically inside the aircraft. You were there in Desert Storm? I fucking love Desert Storm vets. Because Desert Storm vets fall into one of two categories, and I'm not talking shit. You either did a lot of fucking work or no work at all. Like, there was no in between. Like, I've talked to Desert Storm vets who are like, I sat in Kuwait and did absolutely fucking nothing. And then I've talked to other Desert Storm vets that are like, I dropped 80,000 pounds of ordnance in like 3 days. Holy fuck. Like, you either did a lot of everything or nothing at all. Any chance we get an update on the bombers? World War II taught the F-22 and 35. Personally, I wanted to hear what they had to teach them after Buff left. Broke the mold was the video. Oh, the broke the mold one. That one was a good video. I enjoyed making that one. You know what I need to do? I'll bring that back. I'll write it down in my notes. I'm drinking water. It's already kind of toasty in here. Knox is over there staring at me. I'm gonna write down broke the mold. I do want to talk about some other things throughout history. Would a modern day convoy system work against the Houthis in the Red Sea? Yes and no. So here, the Houthis possess a decent amount of firepower that they've gotten from Iran, but they don't possess. It's hard to figure out who's the bad guys and the good guys in Yemen. That's the hardest thing. No nation on earth has ever won against an insurgency. Why? Because no nation on earth has been as heavy-handed as you would need to fight an insurgency. And I'm not trying to talk shit, but you got to be extremely heavy-handed to win against an insurgency. It is not polite, but it is effective. Are the new production Patriot missiles being diverted from existing sales to Ukraine? No. They will probably be refitting American stockpiles, and the old ones will be going over to Ukraine. We have, like, every time I hear, and I'm not saying this about you, someone will be like, oh, America's running out of Patriot missiles. No, we're not. That system's been in production for like 40 years. We have a ton of old Gem Charlies and Gem Pluses and fucking ATM 1s that can go over there to Ukraine. We have a metric fuck ton of them. Gem Tangos are a little bit rarer. ATM 2s and 3s, a little bit more rare. And then fucking MSEs are probably the rarest of all. But we have a shit ton of old missiles. Did you see... What's up, Devin? Good to see you again, bye. Did you see Preston Stewart's on the Russian turtle tank? The jokes write themselves. No, I saw he posted one on the turtle tank. I really have to watch it. I haven't done much work on the turtle tanks. As to Civil War museums, if Indianapolis State Museum, World War I Museum, the Basement Soldier and Sailors. Nice gun collection. Indianapolis. And... I'll go check it out. I'm all about it, man. HLC probably has a CIA and HSI agent. I probably do. And I bet they love their life. They're like, I just gotta follow this guy and pay attention to what he's doing. That's fine. Got a suggestion. Okay, all right. I was already there. I did skip some other ones. Okay, funny you mentioned. Okay, I was way ahead. I went back up. Okay, good. Colin Powell said the biggest contributor to success in Desert Storm was the U.S. use of GPS to go through the desert and bypass the main force. Yeah. GPS. So GPS is a huge force multiplier, and a lot of older vets, what they think, right? And I'm not talking any shit, right? But a lot of older vets think that, like, oh, you guys use all digital shit now. You guys use all GPS. Well, what happens if GPS is jammed? The same thing that happened when you were in. We use compass and protractors. We still train how to use, like in Patriot, we have to emplace it's a requirement in table 3 and table 7, table 6, I think. You have to emplace the radar and the launchers manually with a gunner's quadrant and aiming circle. Like, it's a requirement. And that, you can fucking jam everything to your heart's content. That's fine. My radar's still gonna know where the fuck it's at. I can still get manual ISLB data, initial search lower bounds. I can still get all that. I just got to do it manually. So it's the same thing that you guys used to do, right? It's just now we do use digital because it speeds up processes, but it doesn't mean we don't have the ability to use analog, right? And I believe it. I believe that thing about GPS. Just got here. Can we restart? Stuart, where do I go? I love that. The what Noble said. By the way, you missed an opportunity on the 4th. I love that. Call a locksmith. The 22 gets into Bluey. To Bluey? I'm trying to understand. Florida is the Australia of Americas. That's fair. Well, yeah, kinda. So I think the best analogy for like Australia is Australia is the Texas of the United Kingdom. Like, I think that's a fair assessment because, like, Australia has fucking crocodiles. Texas has gators. Australia has like a bunch of spiders and snakes, and so does Texas. Like, they speak a little bit differently than the rest of us. They're definitely there. Okay, hold on. Oh, hold on. It did that thing again where it drops down. I got to catch back up. If air defenders were D&D class, which would they be? Infantry would be fighter, obviously, but what about air defenders? Ooh. Bard or paladin? Because we're just there defensively. We're really that's our whole purpose there. Where are we with laser missile defense? It's in full production. You're not going to find what I'm about to tell you in any article because it hasn't been published yet. And it's not a secret. It's just no one is really caring about it. But American Directed Energy Maneuver Short Range Air Defense, also known as DEM SHORAD, is in fact right now, right this second, employed in CENTCOM, which is Central Command. I can't say which country it's in. I can't say what they're doing. I can't say if they've shot anything down. But they are, for a fact, being used right now in CENTCOM. And I know some of the guys out there who are using them. Outstanding work, guys. Fucking good luck and Godspeed. But we're there. And then the Arleigh Burke class destroyers and the Ticonderoga class cruisers both have, it's a optical dazzler, it's a fucking laser. Is Israel going into Lebanon? I have no idea. That whole thing, like, I feel bad because they're surrounded by people who hate them. Now, it's not my place to judge whether that's good founded hatred or poorly founded hatred, but they're completely surrounded by people who hate them. And if you pick on one, or if you start to fight back against one, the other ones get all uppity. So you immediately inject yourself into a 2 or 3 front war. I think the most appalling and kind of surprising thing of the whole issue that's gone on in Israel is that Iran had the balls to attack them directly. That's not something Iran does ever. They figured out the cheat code. The cheat code is you don't attack any American allies directly. You pay your terrorist organizations and they go attack the American allies. So your hands are clean. The fact that they fired drones and missiles directly at Israel, I don't know if that shows their boldness or their apathy towards American policy. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Wait, so you don't let Chinese girls back to your house and talk about the top secret parts of Patriot? No. And there is no top secret parts of Patriot. It's all secret. At least I don't think there's any top secret. It's all just secret. But yeah. And this is the thing, guys. I'm going to tell you. people think secret information is like some super cool stuff. It's really not. It's numbers, kinematic flight profiles, elevations. Like I could put a billboard of it out there and you drive right past it and not have any idea what it means. You'd be like, that's fucking dumb looking. The only people who care about it is the bad guys. So it's a really weird it's a really weird thing. And I'm sure anyone who's ever dealt with secret information in the military will back me up on that. It did that thing where it jumps down again. Honestly, you just made my day that you remember me from other streams. I missed the past few weeks, but glad to be back. Turns out work gets really busy when one of your employees shows up drunk. Ooh, I know that feeling. I know that. That's like 50% of people in the Army. Oh, man. So, speaking of weapons, thank you for dropping the bunker branding link there. I really appreciate that. I worked really hard on that Patriot shirt, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I did work very, very hard on that one. If you don't know, the Patriot shirt that I have, it says, "Nothing can save you from me." It was a reference to the quote that I made in one of my videos that said, "Chaff flares or Jesus Christ, nothing can save you from me." Because realistically, because I know what Patriot can do, nothing's going to save you. By the way, somebody tagged me, I think his name is David or something, on fucking Twitter. And he has like a 17-page fucking breakdown of the new radar the F-35 is getting. And I was able to thumb through at least half of it today because I had some time. The man is talking dirty to me, okay? Like, my radar's bad, but that's a bad bitch. That's a scary fucking radar. Like, what that thing is going to be able to do. Let me put it to you this way. The main thing that stuck out to me is it can detect you without you receiving any radiation or identification from it. So previously, when two planes were merging, usually like the benefit of stealth is they would have their radar on, right, in a non-stealth aircraft, or they would have it off. But if they kick theirs on, it would detect, or you would receive the radiation and know where they're at. But they wouldn't know where you're at because you're stealth. This thing can circumstantially keep its radar on, detect you, and you have no idea that you've been fucking detected. You pair that with a missile that can now reach potentially 250 plus miles away, and fuck! Like, that's scary. It's fucking terrifying. I try to remember everyone, Devin. I'm good with faces, so like I remember people's pictures, really. So yours looked very familiar. But anyway, sorry, the picture the Patriot shirt that I made, the missile on there is actually a missile that I fired. Here, I will show it to you guys. Where is that folder? I sent this to Bunker Branding, and this is actually the missile that I fired. Let me go to in-game real quick. Boom. Oh, you guys can't really see it. Boom. That's one of the missiles that I fired on Flight Test 5. So they took this picture, and that's how they made the Patriot shirt that I had, which is fucking cool. I think it's awesome. The Army brought back the XM25 Punisher. Would it be an effective anti-drone rifle? I don't know, because the XM25 did have airburst. I don't know. And you know, I learned something recently. I can't remember who told me, but I was, it might have been in stream, that the new kinetic MSHORAD system they're working on has a experimental 30 mic. And I was like, I don't know why they went with a 30 mic. And somebody told me, they're like, because 30 millimeter is the smallest round that they can put airburst in for aerial targets. And I was like, holy shit, that makes sense. So it kind of blew my mind. And this is the thing. With the XM25, you have to be able to hit the target. That's the hardest thing with lead slingers, right? Because when we started switching from missile...
Would you intercept me? I'd intercept me.
3 things.
Oh.
1. Any prediction on the joke I gave you? 2nd, do you think sending Ukraine laser air defense system would be good? 3rd, I am taking the ASVAB next week to join the Coast Guard. Would you recommend studying or no?
I would absolutely... So I'll go backwards. I would absolutely recommend studying. Number 2, I would... more air defense is going to help regardless. But I think that employed correctly, laser air defense for counter drone, especially size 3 and below, very beneficial. And then you said something about a joke you gave to me. I'm sorry. Let me check. I gotta read it. Any prediction on the joke I gave you? I took a picture of it, didn't I? I took a picture because I remember MTM Jedi. I remember. Hold on. Let me see. I gotta go back in my pictures. I gotta go back in my photos. I don't have time to find it right now, but I think I remember your picture, and I think I remember seeing your name. And I took a freaking picture of it, but I don't know where the hell I put it. And I'm going to have to find it, man. I'm so sorry. But congratulations on taking the ASVAB to join the Coast Guard. I do give everybody shit, right? Like I give anyone, shit for whatever branch they're joining. But honestly, best of luck to you, man. The military... Just remember this, if you're going to join the military, if anyone out there is watching this and you're interested in joining the military, Uncle Sam will always get his, okay? Uncle Sam will always get what he wants. Make sure the military gives you what you want. I can say that now after 2 torn labrums in my hips. I got torn meniscus in both knees, possible arthritis in one of them. The cartilage behind a kneecap is also messed up. Asymmetric hearing loss, post-traumatic stress disorder. I need an ultrasound on my fucking spine and complex sleep apnea. I'm a little worse for wear. So Uncle Sam will always get his, guys. Just remember that. He will always get his. I thought that air defenders would fall in the artificer class. Tasha's cauldron to everything. You know, those who can craft magic items easily. I guess you're right, because that would make sense for like magic missile and shit. You might be right, Robin. Parker, you love me. Oh, I would say it back, but Mrs. Linecroster's watching. She gets weird about that stuff. Just kidding. I honestly, I love all you guys. Here's the thing, man, and I've said this before on stream. If you want to tell me about something you've done in your life and you want somebody to be fucking proud of you, bring it up in here or bring it up in the Discord. We will be absolutely fucking proud of you, man. Like, no matter what you're doing in your life, because one of the things that we need to get past is trying to compare people's successes to one another, right? It's easy for me to say, well, so what? You just got a job. I'm a fucking YouTube star, right? But that's so ignorant. That may have been the hardest thing that person ever fucking did was get that job. You need to be happy for them. Too many people out there just think everything's a fucking competition. So no matter what you guys got going on in your life, tell me in here and I will absolutely be fucking happy for you. 100%. Oh, that's not for you, Pup Snack Fun? Oh, all right. I gotta sneak it out. Okay, you watching him? You watching him? She saw. Oh, there he goes. Let's see if we can let them hear your jowls slap closed. Here, Rain, I'll give you one. Knox, come on up. Up. Here. Oh, it's behind you. Honestly, he eats like such a nice boy. And you guys saw he's my desktop background. When I got my new camera, here, I'll show you. Oh, not intro. There we go. That's my dude. He has an eye booger. I need to take a picture of him without an eye booger. What's the likelihood in a war that repairers would get pulled into infantry tasks or frontline duty? Very, very high, Drew. And I don't want to talk any shit, but some of the best ground pounders I ever met were 81 or 91 Bravos. They were wheel mechanics, and they were our gun team. One of them was named Tim Boone. He was a good friend of mine. Another one was named... started with a P. I can see his fucking face. Anyways, we had a lot of them. And then my buddy Red, God rest his soul, he was a good one too, man. So, pretty high. Everyone does everyone's job. You can do 20 millimeter airburst. I didn't know that. When people tell me something, I'm like, that's kind of cool. Sorry, do you like the new Star Wars, The Acolyte? No, I haven't even watched it. I keep on seeing highlights from it. I'm like, this seems like nothing I want to see. Let me see. HLC, have you thought about the kids' reaction to an F-35 getting an air-to-air kill in the Middle East? I thought I did a video on that where the Israeli one got an air-to-air kill, didn't he? Yeah, I thought I did one. I need to do one where the kid freaks out again. I haven't had the kid freak out in a while. I can't imagine anything other than directed energy weapons being cost-effective enough to be used in modern anti-drone warfare. Yes, well... Cost of a drone is a couple $100. Cost of a box of shells for a 12 gauge? $20, $30? That's also a cost-effective way. But I agree with you. And so here's the thing. A lot of people assume that, like, well, it's a cheap drone. What do we have, why are you going to waste a $1 million missile on it? Well, okay. When you do a and analysis, which is CVRT, criticality, vulnerability, recuperability, and threat to an asset. You not only incorporate what is coming at it, but how much damage that thing coming at it can cause. So it's real easy when people like look at it through like blinders, like, well, that drone only costs $200, your missile costs $5 million, but if that drone gets through, that's $10 million worth of damage and possibly some lives. Also, when that drone, where it comes from, we're going to bombard the living shit out of it, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. So they're going to lose that asset pretty much regardless. Does that make sense? So you're right, it is more cost effective, but I think cost effective in the long run is kind of an arbitrary thing that not a lot of people think about. You got MS cubes? I mean, I almost said I was proud of you. I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I really am. I have an aunt who has MS. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up. Protocol 4. I know everyone was asking for it. Katie's in here. What's going on? I have a stupid idea in mind. Toyota pickup with a small radar and anti-air guns. Any chance it would work? Abso-fucking-lutely. Anti-aircraft guns have been in the back of Toyota or Hilux pickups for a long time. And radars are getting smaller, cheaper, and easier to maneuver. Matter of fact, the Kinetic M-SHORAD system has 4 onboard radars all the way around it. And they're this big. They're not very big. There's 4 of them, like that big. Bing, 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 bing. You could do the same thing on a fucking truck. You probably have to beef up the suspension a little bit, but it worked. Oh, man. Making sure I'm catching up here. Okay. Shoots down missile Patriots in here. I've been seeing him shoot down a lot. He's been busy. A couple weeks ago, I did a hiking trip in the Grand Canyon. Hey, there you go, DZ. That's what I'm talking about. So DZ went on a hiking trip, wasn't sure that they could get back to the top and push through it. I will tell you, it's... I don't want to be like a David Goggins here, but like your area of growth is outside of your comfort zone. You have to get uncomfortable to grow. So those are some of the benefits that I've gotten from the military, because the military pushed me harder than I ever had. And I had a pretty easy fucking life growing up as a kid. But I got in the military and I was dealing with colder temperatures on a regular basis than I was used to. Hotter temperatures on a regular basis. Further distances. More weight. I was just, less sleep. I was pushing myself harder and harder and harder every single day. Until finally I was like, man, there ain't nothing I can fucking not do. Like, this is awesome. So breaking out of your comfort zone a little bit and doing something that's hard, absolute win. The missile intercept? It did. Did you ever look into Papa Puska dog treats? I did not. They need new dog treats anyways. Those ones are kind of like super stale. I feel bad. But they got a ton of them downstairs. I just got to go grab some. Papa Puska. I got to take Knox to the vet. He doesn't know that word. Papa Puska dog treats. I will look into them, okay? But no, he's starting to get patchy again. This happened last year. I got to get him on some meds or something. How hyper are you about GTA 6? I mean, if they do GTA 6 and then eventually they do a 7 within the next fucking 13 years, I'd be happy about it, but I don't know. Weapons wants me to have the F-15EX show up next. Is the F-15EX in full production? The mood from the chat tonight. Also, money is made of thin air. Not really. Cost of missing with the shotgun, potentially expensive. Bingo. Is he on Twitch too? So I used to have a Twitch. I haven't streamed on Twitch in like a couple of years, and they won't let me close it because there's like $2 left on my fucking Twitch. So it's yeah. Katie, you're gonna be hit by a hurricane. Hey, be safe. You must be down there in Texas. Yeah, I was on Twitch for like a couple years, and I really wanted it to grow, but I also realized that Twitch is a very saturated market, and there's only 7 to 12 million daily users on Twitch, and there's 221 million users daily on YouTube. And I wanted to be accessible, so that's why I do this on Friday nights. I wanted people to be able to just come in and hang out, and let's just talk about whatever. Am I going to be on Pepperbox? Maybe eventually. Right now, I don't have the free time to be able to produce that amount of content. By the way, guys, so I have my next USA versus the World almost done. Should be dropping in the next week. I've done a lot of editing with it, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Have we considered a 12-gauge CWIS? No, but we have done a missile version, which I didn't even know existed. The United States Navy has something called a rolling airframe missile, and they've put it inside of a CWIS. They made like its own little thing, and there's like 21 missiles in there, and it just like and just fucking starts smoking shit, which is crazy. God bless America. You heard the USMC is developing a Patriot battery. I'm not familiar with that. It doesn't. They might be developing like IFPC. I know the Marine Corps has dove deep into counter UAS or unmanned aerial systems or unmanned aerial surveillance. Really depends on where you read it. I know they've gone heavily into that. But as for going to Patriot, like the reason why Patriot it's an Army program is because the Army like holds it entirely. Could they be doing it? Yes, but for me, I can't think of a logical reason why. And it's nothing against the Marine Corps. I'm not saying they're incapable of doing it, but it's training a force on a piece of equipment that you have another force already capable of running, right? It's like the old, what's better, a Navy SEAL or a Green Beret? Well, they have a lot of overlap in their specialties, but one of them is better at certain things than the other one is. So that's how the Army and Marine Corps work. It's 121 degrees where you're at, Joshua? Jesus. What's the future of the P.O. box? Will it ever be coming back? I'm sure we all have a bunch of stuff we want to send you. Yes, eventually, but I don't know if it's going to come back here or once I get moved back home. I would love to dive into why it was closed down. As of right now, I'm not going to. Nothing personal. I do want it to come back. It's just a matter of safety for me and my family. We'll leave it at that. Oh my God. Rereading about Desert Storm is honestly hilarious. It really is. They get folded like a fucking lawn chair. Jailbird? Jared? Thank you so much for the donation, my dude. I know that 15 is coming sometime this month. Is it? Oh, hold on. HLC, you heard of Conflict of Nations? I have not. What games am I playing later on tonight? 0. I'm going to hopefully put together a video for tomorrow for you guys. One of the country videos. And then I'm going to go spend some time with my missus because I've been busy. Have I heard Rheinmetall possibly putting Skynex on a Leo 1 chassis? I have not. Let me write that down. I don't even know what Skynex is. You guys are seeing the camera shake because I'm shaking the whole fucking thing. Is there a 20 by 102 grape shot round? Yes, it's called a punt gun. Do I know about the Abrams X and the M10 Booker tank? So, I don't know much about the Abrams X. I think... Don't take this the wrong way, guys. I think the game changer that tanks used to be is not there anymore. And the reason why is because anti-tank guided weapons have gotten so far ahead. So in tanks, they really need to develop something new. Like there was like a active defense system that I think Israel has on top of their tank. Maybe not Israel, somebody else. Now I know the Abrams X is supposed to have that as well, but I think the whole idea of developing a stealth tank is kind of... I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze there. The M10 Booker, hugely needed because right now we have 2 major platforms that carry large caliber main guns on them. We have the Abrams and we have the MGS Striker, the mobile gun system. And the Striker is just, it's a terrible platform. I'm sorry. Like somebody somewhere had a friend that got the government to buy a shit ton of Strikers and now we have to use them for fucking everything. Striker is not a good platform. So the M10 Booker, bringing back a light tank is good, but it also makes me very nervous because every time the U.S. has used light tanks, there's like a world war. Like, we didn't have light tanks in fucking Vietnam. We didn't have light tanks in fucking Korea. Just haven't used them. So, okay, hold on. We stopped saying sorry. You're hearing "Oh Canada" over the ridge and smelling maple syrup. Be grateful you don't hear The devilish honking yet. I love you Canadians, Robin. I love you Canadians. I fuck with y'all Canadians. But you know what? This is the thing. Like, we all, like... I know in my comment section, the Brits sometimes give Americans a hard time, and the Americans sometimes give Brits a hard time, and the Canadians are back and forth. But we're all on the same team, and I'm glad that we all realize that. Because I tell you right now, somebody tried to fuck with my Canadians, I'm showing up. Y'all got me, I'm coming. Same thing with my Brits. Anyone tries to fuck with my Brits, I'm coming. We're showing up. Would mass producing a heart attack gun count as chemical warfare? I want to say it would be considered cruel and unusual, but I don't know. I'm not sure. The joke I gave you was the Russian warship seeing a hurricane for the first time and thinking it was a weather machine made by the U.S. I don't remember that joke, but I'm taking a picture of it now. Are they still in the Caribbean? Because I don't even know if I can use that joke. Have I tried the First Descendant yet? Yes, I've been playing it. If you guys happen to see a Fuzzy Bacon playing as Ajax, that's me. Punt guns are crazy. If we can make the M1028 for the Abrams, we could surely make a canister shot for the Sea Whiz. Is the M1028 the canister shell? For those of you who aren't aware, and I don't, again, I have an eidetic memory for numbers. I'm not good with like names. I still remember like my first license number and my childhood phone number. Like I just numbers stick with me. But a canister shell, I don't know if it's called the M1028. That one I've never heard it called that. We just called it a canister shell. It's a shotgun shell for an Abrams, a 120 millimeter shotgun shell. And you're like, well, that's a lot of small BBs. They're not small. 997 3/4 inch tungsten steel balls traveling at roughly 6,280 feet per second. You can reduce an entire battalion if they were packed tight enough into just a puddle of goo. In one shot. God bless America. Kentucky Ballistics has a punt gun. I saw him. I never talked to him. I saw him at the first range day I went to. I never talked to him. But I was like, oh shit, that's Kentucky Ballistics. And he was wearing a Just Jam a Thumb in It shirt. I was like, that's fucking cool. Went to Paris a few weeks ago. Must see there. Oh, dude, I do not do French. Was the best museum the First and Second World Wars. Ooh. Musée de l'Arme. You know what? I'm actually not going to write that one down because the chance of me getting to France in the near future, pretty slim. But once I'm out, I do plan on going kind of all over the world and checking out some of those things. Coors, bottle or can? Can, all day. I like aluminum. Hold on. I'll get back to that one in a second. I just got to get back to where I was. You need to do U.S. versus NATO and U.S. versus the UN. It's on my list, Blue Jay. Don't you worry. The Striker looks cool, but at the end of the day, it wishes it was a Bradley. It does. It's not a light tank. Weapons? No, I don't correct you. I do not correct you when you talk about aircraft stuff. You do not correct me when I talk about armor stuff. An M10 Booker is a light tank. I'll make you a deal for medium. Maybe. It's goddamn it. M10 has modular ERA that needs to come with it. No shit. Reacted to an F-35 smoking a cruise missile, not an enemy aircraft. Oh, did the 35 smoke an enemy aircraft? I'll write it down. I'll check into it. Tater tots or french fries? French fries all day long. We do not like the Cobra chickens. I should be a missile YouTuber. Go to the range and fire missiles. If I could get away with that, you have no fucking idea. I would do that shit in a heartbeat. Be like, well, guys, today we're firing off a Nike Ajax. It's the last functional one in existence. Let's just go ahead and send this thing, see how high it can go. I think should be getting about 50,000 feet. And then the next episode, I'll be like, all right, guys, I managed to find a Sprint missile. That's a Nike Sprint. It's capable of doing Mach 10 in under 10 seconds, so we're going to fucking shoot the moon. Don't worry, it doesn't have a nuclear warhead anymore, but we're going to still send it. Like, I would love to be a missile YouTuber. I would love that shit. How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? As much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. No, it's okay, Haven Lady. I appreciate you being here. Would you say air supremacy is the most important thing on the modern battlefield? I want to say yes, but it's only part of the battle. Air supremacy is a huge deciding factor because if you can get and attain and maintain air supremacy, you allow your troops freedom of maneuver, you allow freedom of logistics, you allow, counter-strike capabilities. So it is hugely important. But if you have air supremacy and your maneuver forces are incapable of receiving logistics support, or they're incapable of understanding what maneuvers are supposed to take place, it's not going to be good for them. So I don't know if it's the most important thing, but it is hugely important. When will I visit here in Australia? Look, man, I cannot wait to come see you Aussies. I cannot wait. I want to go see you Aussies. I do. Absolutely, I want to go see you Aussies. And I'll announce that shit like a month in advance. Because something I know about Aussies, there's like 4 places y'all live. Everybody in the Outback has no idea who the fuck I am because they ain't got internet. Right? There's like Queensland, Sydney, Tasmania. I almost said New Zealand, but that's not even your country. I don't know, man. I don't know. You should use the C-17 saying it identifies as a bomber. That's actually a pretty good joke. Which makes sense, because all C-17 pilots think you're fucking fighter pilots. Ajax, my boy. That's what I do. Sorry, guys. I keep on, like, sniffling. I'm coming down with something. There was some fucking kid. Somebody's goddamn crotch goblin at the damn airport in Tampa, and I was like 2 lines over, and this kid was like, like, If that kid, I thought I got away with it. I thought I got away, but no. Apparently he fucking nicked me, and now I got the plague. Fucking kids. Tell you right now, if your child coughs on me, they're gonna learn a whole bunch of new words. You're going to have a long conversation when you get home. I have no problem cussing at a child. It's like when someone invites me over to their kid's birthday party. I don't have kids. Why you invite me? But now I feel obligated to go. So when I blow out your kid's candles, you're not allowed to tell me I'm an asshole. It's not illegal, but it does make you a dick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Do you think the Super F-22 will be monstrously ahead the same way the Raptor was in 2000? I was going to say I'm not familiar with them developing a Super F-22. I just have not heard it called the Super F-22. I know they're upgrading them. I think that if you took what the F-22 already has and you gave it like the sensor and capability suite of the F-35, it would ultimately be one of the greatest fighter jets that has ever existed. Because you could circumstantially send F-35s for ground attack and electronic warfare and send F-22 for close air support close air support with the other air traffic, to keep them covered. And you could cause a lot of damage really fast with that. So I don't know. Oh, Conflict of Nations is a mobile game. My bad. What if the USA is working on anti-sea drone capability? So I don't know if CWIS can reach that low. I do know that 25 millimeters and 50 cals can. So I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. I'm caught up. Someone said something about a merch link. Hearing me talk about numbers. I like numbers, man. It's Jaybird, and I'm not... Oh, Jaybird. Okay, my bad. I'm not sure I recognize my Canada anymore. That's the thing. When I did my USA versus the world about Canada, I wanted to deliver it in a way that I wasn't like... It would have been easy for me to be like, dude, we're going to fuck you guys up, right? I could have just beat my chest about it, but you're an ally. So I wanted to be like, look, man, like you guys are seriously like punching up here, and I'm so happy that it was received that way by the Canadians. Like you guys didn't receive it in a negative way, but yeah, 50 tons light. Well, compared to an Abrams, a Booker's light. An Abrams was 72 tons. At least that's the SEP V2s. 72 tons, 12 and a half feet tall. No, sorry, no, 9 feet tall, 12 and a half feet wide, 29 feet long. Had to know that. 72 tons, but like 72 and a half, almost 73 with a full combat load. History field trip to Redstone Arsenal. I've been out there. I was out there TDY to... It was Redstone. Somewhere out Redstone. It was fucking Huntsville. I went to the Space Museum out there. That was cool. That was actually really cool. They have 2... one of them standing up and then one of them laying on its side. 2 full-size Saturn V rockets, which is fucking cool. If you've never seen a Saturn V rocket, that shit makes you like, holy fuck, we built that thing? Like... And that, like, just standing underneath it, you're like, yeah, we definitely made it to the moon. Mm-hmm. Yep, makes sense. Like when when you're like, you can't even like comprehend just one of the boosters, and it's got like 6 of them on the bottom of that fucking thing, is like the size of a pickup truck. And that's like just lengthwise. And you're just like, there's like 6 or 8 of them bitches underneath, and you're like, yeah. And then when I was there, they had the guys who had worked on the program. They're like, yeah, it produces 40 million tons of thrust, and per like second or some shit. And he was just blowing my mind with numbers. I was like, yeah, we definitely made it to the moon. I also think you should do a JAGM. Ooh, the JAGM. If you haven't already, as well as the Army's CCMSH. Ooh. I'm not familiar with the CCMSH. I've not even heard of that. They're replacing the Hellfire. Well, the Hellfire needs to be replaced anyways. It's slow. It's like Mach 1. And I know someone's like, Mach 1 is slow. In the world of shooting things, yes, Mach 1 is fucking slow. I mean, hell, my missiles move at Mach 4 unclassified. Apple Pie, Hell Let Loose, better version of Enlisted. I think I tried Hell Let Loose. Rob, Daddy Rob is here. Fantasy time again. You're on the planet of Hoth. I love it. The AT-AT walkers are coming towards, shooting without regard. What weapon do you have by your side? Which branch and unit? You only get one. Okay, we're going to see how far I can go out here, but the weapon at my side is going to be an Abrams main battle tank, because a Sabo don't give a fuck about shields. The thing's going to rip right through those AT-ATs. Eons out. Now, if it's a handheld weapon, maybe a 45-70. Yeah, I mean, I need something with knockdown power and penetration. And then branch and unit, I would probably say that I would go with the 75th Ranger Regiment. And here's why. Okay? Before anyone crucifies me. The reason I go with the 75th Ranger Regiment is, number one, numbers. There's like a fucking couple thousand of them motherfuckers. Okay? Number two, that is their job. Direct action. Rangers, people think Rangers like, well, they're just like SEALs. They go, no, SEALs do secret squirrel, like reconnaissance, go in, hit this guy, take out this guy. Like that's a SEAL's job. Rangers, on the other hand, is like, cool, see that village? There's bad guys in there. We don't know where they're at. So just clear the village. And they're like, okay, cool. And that's what they do. So direct action I'd go with 75th Ranger Regiment. I think that's probably what I pick. Last stream, I asked your thoughts on the Diamondback missile, and you wrote it down. Curious to your thoughts. Oh my god, I never looked into it. I did. It was in my notes right here. Shit. I haven't had time. I'm so sorry. After that last stream, I went to fucking Florida. Let me see. Didn't I look it up, the Diamondback missile? Yes, I did look this up. I think that it was made. Is it cool? Yes, absolutely, it's cool. So for those of you unaware, Diamondback missile is an air-to-air nuclear missile that the United States designed. So yes, they would put a nuclear missile underneath the wing of an aircraft and shoot down other aircraft with a nuclear missile. Not such a crazy idea when you realize that the Nike Hercules, the Nike Spartan, the Nike Zeus, and the Sprint were all nuclear-capable air defense missiles. Like, all of them had nukes in the nose. But that was also during the time, like, the 40s and 50s were a weird time, because we were nuking everything, and we were just like, we want to see what happens. So we put nukes in fucking everything. As soon as we could make them smaller, we were like, Like, they had a shoulder-fired one. What was that? The fucking... I can't remember the name of it. The Fat Electrician did one on it. I did get it, so yeah. Which coffee and what sarcasm? I would say Aerial Resupply. Oh, it's over here. Aerial Resupply Coffee. If you go to habituallinecrosser.com, you can use my affiliate link. I like Aerial Resupply Coffee. Honestly, I know Mike, the owner, and I'm not going to say anything against other veteran-owned coffee brands, but here's the thing. The more successful veteran-owned coffee brands have gone public, so they're no longer veteran-owned. They're not. They're owned by civilian corporation. They're publicly traded. And Aerial Resupply has vowed to me that he will never go public because he wants it owned and operated by veterans and for veterans. And I stand behind that. So that's why I like Aerial Resupply. Is it expensive coffee? Yes. The coffee is a little bit pricey, but it's premium coffee, man. Are the F-15EX just a modern day growler? I mean, it does have an electronic warfare suite, but I wouldn't consider it a growler. The growler, I will tell you, as a radar guy, there is nothing in this world. I mean, Durfam doesn't even scare me like this. And Durfam is Russian jamming. And Durfam has fucked up a Patriot radar before. I'm not going to say where, when, or who, but it has. But there's nothing in this world that terrifies me as much as a fucking growler. Like that fucking electronic suite that is inside that goddamn aircraft is terrifying. Because, like, here's the thing. If you shoot me with an anti-radiation missile, I can shoot down your missile. If you shoot me with a cruise missile, I can shoot down your missile. If you're trying to close in on me with a fast mover, I can shoot you down. I can shoot down ballistic missiles. I can fucking smoke anything. I can't shoot down you fucking up my electronic suite. When I can't see you at all, and then you shoot me with an anti-radiation missile, that's terrifying. I already have issues with the construction of the Constellation-class frigates. All right, what's the issues? I know we're building a lot of fucking everything. You just described NG-80. Next generation air dominance, baby. Yeah, Italian food is supreme. Every type of food has its place, but I will admit to you, in my palate, I have never had Russian food, and I'm not a sausage fan, and don't take that the wrong way, like I'm not a big sausage fan, so I'm not a big fan of German food, but I've had Puerto Rican food. I love Mexican food. Oh God, I love Mexican food. Vietnamese food is good. Chinese food is good. Korean food is good. Pretty much all of Asia is kind of a win. I've never really had like Taiwanese food, but I'm sure it's good. But Italian food, I was born and raised Italian. My mom is full-blooded Italian. And be like, you got a last name like Long, how are you Italian? That's my dad's name. My mother's maiden name was Lamb, and then my grandmother's maiden name was Giacometti. So I'm a little fucking Italian. 50%. Need to make an infantry resupply pods in the Rapid Dragon program. That's actually not a half bad idea. But I think we have stuff like that. Like rapid deployment of supplies to troops in contact. I bet we have something like that. I don't think it's ever been needed, but I bet we do. Sea-Wiz 1B would eat the Sea Drone 4,000 yards, and yes, it can go that low. See? Someone answered it right in here. That's why I like you guys, man. I fucking love y'all. Because you guys are like, oh yeah, no, I have this expertise. Because I don't know everything about everything. And I try to be as transparent as I can that, hey, I'm not familiar with that. I don't know anything about it. So when you guys are an expert in that, you're like, yes, it can absolutely do that. Like when I say something about aircraft and weapons, smacks his head into the wall a few times and goes, God damn it, HLC. And then he has to correct me in an essay in the fucking comment section. Abrams chassis, GAU 8 turret, AA acronym. Okay, so it's kind of been tried. I'll try and get a video of it here in the near future. Over in the Air Defense Artillery Training Support Facility, which it looks like a museum, but everything in there is still functional. Everything. The missiles, if you fueled them up and charged the batteries, they would fire. Like everything in there, all the 50 cal still work, all the fucking Bofors still work, everything in there is still completely functional. And in there, they have the granddaddy of the GAU 8. And it was an air defense chassis. And it had 930 rounds that they could put in there. And it would empty those rounds like 4 seconds. And then it took an hour and a half to reload. So they somewhat modernized it, and that's where they came up with the VATS, the Vulcan Air Defense System. Yes, that Vulcan, the 20 millimeter Vulcan cannon that is inside almost everything except for the 35. I think the 35 has 25 millimeter. Yeah, the F-35 has a bigger gun, I think. Anyways, I know the F-22 is a Vulcan because I have a shell from one right back there. And so they did the VADS. And it didn't do very well air defense stuff, but it worked really well in point and area defense in Panama. They were just like, hey, enemies that way. And cool, I'm going to destroy that way. And that's what they did. Look up 1970s era Boeing 747 Tomahawk launcher. I may have seen that. God bless America. Yeah, no, that's the same. That's ultimately the same revolver that is inside the C-17. But this is, I don't know if you guys can see that. God bless America. I love it. M10 has no armor, its only defense is speed. Yeah, I mean, that's light tanks in general. Hey, mate, first time in chat. Oh, hang on, I gotta read it in Australian. I think he's Australian. He might be British. Hey, mate, first time in chat. In chat? What the fuck? First time in chat. Who's your pick if Biden drops? It's too political. If that's too political, have you heard of Sean McFate? And if so, what are your thoughts? I have not heard of Sean McFate. And who's my pick if Biden drops? Again, I try and dabble lightly when it comes to politics. Understanding American politics is understanding that the president has very little power, aside from veto. Like the presidential veto and being able to pardon is the only power the president really has. Everything resides with Congress. Congress is the most powerful part of the American political system. It's the executive branch. Yeah, because the Supreme Court is judicial. Fuck. Man, I didn't do well in social studies in middle and high school, okay? But anyways, yeah, Congress has all the power. So honestly, doesn't matter who it is. It's a weird time to be in politics right now because you have a Democratic president and then you have a conservative or Republican Congress and conservative freaking Supreme Court. So I don't know. Where I'm at politically is I want people left the fuck alone. It's kind of what I want. And here's the thing. President Trump is talking about getting rid of income tax, which I respect. I absolutely respect getting rid of income tax. But I want you to know it's not really to help you guys there. I'm not trying to say anything negative about the idea, but you realize people who make over a certain amount have to pay in at the end of the year. So everyone who doesn't pay in at the end of the year normally gets a tax return, no longer gets a tax return. So like that's potentially there. Have I heard about the company that made the M134 is developing a 50 cal rotary gun? No, I believe it though. So here's the thing. I've never used an M134. I've seen them. I've seen them shot, but I was told an M134, if you let off the trigger before that belt is gone, they will almost always jam. And for me, I would always take a 50 cal over something like that. Like it's cool to be able to just like that's cool, but I want something that I can continue to just throw lead with. Have I heard of the new Aussie anti-drone weapon yet? No, but I'm very curious to find out what it is because Aussies, I'm learning to love Aussies because y'all are just like, we ain't got the budget for shit, but we're just going to make it happen. Like Aussies, you are the Texans of the United Kingdom. I have not seen his Band of Beavers video. I haven't had any time to consume any content. I need to. How was Florida with Macbeth, brother? It was good. Phoenix, Florida was an interesting experience. I got to touch the ocean for the first time in the United States, and to some of y'all that may be really weird. But yeah, I never touched the ocean in the U.S. I only touched it in the Middle East. So felt different, felt cooler here than it did in the Middle East. But ultimately I was like, cool, I touched the ocean. Let's go drink. And like me and my wife just walked over to the bar and we had these blueberry they were like, what are those things called? Blueberry margaritas. They were delicious. The AIM 2 Genie? I'm not sure. You're talking about the Davy Crockett, yes. And why Nike? I don't know. I don't know what the acronym for those missiles and why it was Nike. I have no idea why it was Nike. They don't ever really explain that in everything that I found. So I know that the Nike program was huge. Before Patriot and Hawk came around, Nike was like the shit. So you had Nike Ajax, which was short-lived. And then right behind Nike Ajax was Nike Hercules, and then Nike Zeus, and then Nike Spartan. The Nike Zeus and the Nike Spartan both never came into full production, but the Nike Hercules is one of the most widely produced American air defense systems in the world. Hello from an ambulance in Indiana. Hey, be safe, my dude. Sergeant Oppo, you be good, homie. Weapons, I didn't say that. We have discussed AIM-174 air-launched SM-6 is operational. It can be guided by F-35 so the Super Hornets can launch immediately, go evasive. Bingo. We've been working on a integrated fire control network with ultimately it's the best way to explain it is like server meshing, if that makes sense to any of you guys who play video games. So it's easy. If you have a missile fired from here and you have something guiding it the entire way to where it gets, that's easy. But imagine seeing a target here and you fire a missile, and now several different sensors are all contributing to the air picture of that target, giving you the highest fidelity possible. And one of those sensors has guidance on that missile because it has the best picture of the target and has the best picture of the missile. And all that decision making has to happen in the background. With the F-35 capabilities, that's a reality. Like the F-35, it's a flying fucking supercomputer. Like it, I have a supercomputer. Realistically, I have a 4090 in here, and I have a fucking Ryzen 9 5900X. That's a pretty damn powerful computer, and a 64 gigs of RAM. Like, that's a pretty powerful fucking computer. F-35 makes that look like a fucking joke. Several southern state governors want to bring back 31st Infantry Division, known as the Dixie Division, help with regional pride and recruitment. I can fix military recruitment. I can fix it in several different pieces, but no one wants to listen to me. So when I get out, well, they'll have to pay me triple to come back and fix it for them. I've tried to my heart's fucking content, and I know how to fix army, like the public affairs of the military. I know how to fix how we look in the world, and I know how to reach that generation. I know how to do it. And I'm not, like, this isn't me, like, just beating my chest. I can break it down for you step by step by step by step. I know exactly what to do. And everyone, I've told this to Ryan Macbeth, I've told this to Preston Stewart, I've told this to Mandatory Fun Day, I've broken it down step by step by step, and they're like, holy shit, that actually would fucking work. And I'm like, yes, I know it would. Because like, we know, the fact that the military has thousands of social media content creators and they're not reaching out to them blows my mind. Social media is how kids get their news nowadays. Is it right? No. Should they get it from actual mainstream media sources? Yes. That have vetted information? Absolutely. But they get it from social media instead. So why aren't we playing into that? Anyways, speaking of electronic warfare and missiles, have I read the Honor Harrington series Space Navy Heavy on a missile warfare and development there? No, I have not. I don't have as much time to read as I once did. Mainly because I love how you guys have Knox's butt on the camera over there. I was just looking over. Mainly because I'm always going. Happy belated Treason Day. Sincerely. A Canadian, by the way. I think you missed USA versus Canada, world's largest undefended border. Plus, we talk and sound like, that's fair. You guys, so how do I say this without giving away my next one? Because I'm almost done with my next USA versus the world. I was actually going to videotape the following one because I already know what country I want to do after this one. I'm working on it. It's time. Helldiver, I'm good. How are you, my dude? Constellation have issues manufacturing and supply. Yeah, well, I mean, plus, we haven't made frigates in so long, man. 5 King Tigers versus 1 M1A2 Abrams. Abrams all day. And I'm not saying the King Tiger is incapable. I'm not saying that any of that. The Abrams is going to be able to engage from a far greater range than those King Tigers ever will. It's going to see them long before they'll see it. And a Sabo don't give a shit. A Sabo is going to go through anything that you had in World War II. Like nowadays in modern tank battles with the development of Sabo rounds and the development of anti-tank guided weapons, it really comes down to who shoots first. That's really what it comes down to. And an Abrams is going to be able to smoke 5 King Tigers faster than anything. EMP would deal with AI. Yeah, so here's the thing though. I did a video and it flopped. About EMPs because I wanted people to understand EMPs, and I dove into it, like how does an EMP work, and with the best way to set off an EMP is with a nuclear reaction, and you get 3 electromagnetic pulses from a nuclear reaction. I broke it down in the video and explains like, well, this happens and then this happens and then these break apart to this and this is what happens, but ultimately everything around us is pretty much EMP shielded nowadays. Everything, all military equipment is EMP shielded. Your cell phone has some level of EMP shielding. Your car might not be, but like everything has EMP shielding. It is so prevalent and consistent throughout all modern countries that Russia and the United States both said, I'm not developing EMP weapons anymore because they're pointless. Like both countries said it's pointless to develop these because they're so easy to defeat. I wore my buff shirt out. Ooh, some random person walked up and asked if I'd intercept him. That's fucking awesome. That is amazing. I love that. I use VATS all the time, only way to play the game. Joda, what? Hold on. Admin, judicial, and legislative. See, I thought there was an executive branch in there somewhere. You say the Growler scares you more than anything, but does an ADM 160 Mauled seem even worse? Air-launched decoy jammer and can be optionally armed. Yes. Okay, so... Okay, here's why a Growler scares me more than a Mauled. Is ultimately how much damage can that system produce? Can a Mauled take out an air-to-surface radar? Absolutely. Or surface-to-air radar? Absolutely. Can it do that? But a Growler can make it so I don't see anything, and a whole fucking squadron of whatever the fuck gets through and turns everything I'm protecting into the surface of the fucking moon. That's why a Growler scares me. It can make me see... It can be up there by itself and make me see 1,000,000 missiles coming at me. It can be up there by itself and make me see nothing at all. They can have 10 fighter wings with them and I won't see a goddamn thing. Like, a Growler is a terrifying, terrifying fucking system. And I should know. It's interesting because my brother, before he retired from the Navy, he worked on Growlers. He was, he did test cell shit, like took out their engines and troubleshot them and fixed them. And he's like, there's 6 of them on a carrier and those are the only ones I cared about. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know what a Growler was at the time. And then I joined and I figured out what a Growler could do. And I was like, that's fucking scary. President, executive, Congress. Oh, the president is executive, Congress, legislative, and the Supreme Court is judicial. See? Robin teaching me here. Wait, Robin, aren't you Canadian? What the fuck does that say about me? Aussie's made the slinger and it's rad. Oh man, it's scrolled down again. I hate when it does that. Hi, hello! Help, my toddler's jumping on my head. What, Blade? Okay. Cheers to a fellow Gumba? President is executive, Congress, legislative, and Supreme Court is judicial. The U.S. and the world were to have contact... Oh, hold on. If the U.S. and the world were to have contact with other worlds, what... What fantasy world would I want to build a base? And for who? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, right off the rip, whatever base I build is not going to be for the Marine Corps. Because they're going to try and impregnate everything they see. Look, I'm sorry. That's just... I wish it was not the truth, but it absolutely is. Marines, they will have sex with anything. I love Marines, don't get me wrong. I love the Marines. They're very good at their job, but when I was in Korea and we would get notified that, hey, the Navy is coming in, they got some Marines with them, we're like, well, we're getting locked down. We knew we were getting locked down because the Marines would go out in town and physically and other ways assault the local population, and we would get locked down, and then there'd be a bunch of protesters at our gate, and we're like, God damn it, we didn't even do anything this time. So, let me see. What world would be cool? I want to say Kashyyyk. I think that's the Wookiee homeworld. And I think that the United States Army should have a base there because it could be our jungle warfare training center. Boom. Let me see. You'd be amazing at correcting Russian bots. Oh, I try and correct as many of them as I can. I just don't have time. New name for most. Want to ride my bike? Yeah, I want to ride my bike too. I'm on a no ride counseling. What did I miss? A lot. F-35 Minecraft server win. No spoilers. AI and military, what do you think? So, I'm trying to think about how I can say this. I may or may not have worked with AI in the past. AI, I believe, is a force multiplier when you can teach it to make lethal recommendations, but it should never make lethal decisions. What I mean by that is you should never have an AI take someone's life by itself without operator oversight, because you can never program an AI to make moral decisions. You can only program them to make logical decisions. I hope that makes sense. Hear any good HFY lately? No. Let me see. Model 1910 Maxim machine guns. Yeah, they're still being used. Honestly, when I saw the first Maxim being used in Ukraine, I was like, I gotta hand it to the old generation. They built shit to last. I can't be mad. Humans are not logical. No, we're emotional creatures. How do I become a member? You got paid, baby. What? So I don't have memberships. And the reason for that, Terry, I appreciate anyone ever donates. You don't have to. I just want you guys to watch. That's all I will ever ask is just, hey, watch my content. And the reason I don't have memberships turned on my YouTube channel, and there are straight up some YouTube creators that are like, why don't you do that, man? Why don't you do that? To me, if I'm not giving you something exclusive that people who don't pay for it are not receiving, it seems disingenuous. And right now, I don't have the time. Like, that's why I don't have any kind of Patreon, or I don't have any, was it Pepperbox or any of that stuff. I don't have the time to produce exclusive content for those of you who want those memberships. So I don't ever want to be disingenuous. And, for me, this is kind of like at first I was looking at it like it felt really weird to receive like donations from people. But now I look at it like it's a transaction. I try and make you guys happy. I try and make you laugh. I try and make you smile, and you want to support because of that. And that's the way that I look at it now. It's still a little weird. Still, it's still strange, but I do appreciate you guys. Absolutely. It doesn't matter if it's a penny, fucking $100, $200, doesn't matter what it is. I appreciate it. And I want you to know, I get pennies from you guys watching my videos. So I appreciate that. If that's all I will ever ask is just watch my videos. I think if AI is going to be used in the Army, and it'll make S1 human resources actually effective. It's always the fucking SWAN, man. Hey, man, I need you to put in this paper into my file. Okay, you stand right there and they do nothing. You're like, are you putting it in my file? What? That paper. What paper? The one I just handed you. You didn't hand me a paper. Motherfucker. You're not wrong. USA versus emus. Emus win. Or sorry, I gotta say it the way the Aussies like emus. If I say emu, you guys are like, what? But I gotta say emu. Growler scares me. What about... Alright, laddie, the clunge does scare me too. I love that I found that word. It's so fucking good. There's such an amazing word. My opinion on aerial aircraft carriers. Impractical. Right now, a ship can take a whole shit ton of damage before it sinks. Like, we're building ships more survivable every single day. Aircraft are not very robust, if you get what I'm saying. Like, can they take hits? Yes. We're trying to make them as survivable as we possibly can, but if you want me to compare the difficulty to take down an A-10 versus a difficulty to take down an Arleigh Burke class destroyer. Granted, an A-10 is a very robust aircraft. That titanium tub that some bitch has, like, it's a beast. It can take a lot of damage. But I think that it's also realistic to understand that it's easier to drop that A-10 than it is to sink that Arleigh Burke. Russian plus Chinese Navy warship characters. I should probably add those. I mean, let me... Hello from John Smith. What? Have I ever seen the anime Gate? No, a bunch of people have said it to me. They said, you need to see Gate. You need to see Gate. You need to see Gate. I just haven't looked it up yet. Where is it? Where can I watch it at? USA versus Idea. World War II Marines versus World War II Gurkhas. Ooh. It's actually not a half bad idea. You know what's interesting? So I had never really met Chris Cappy, who's... Hold on. Hold on. Mrs. Linecrosser texted me something, and I can't read it all on my watch because it's a book. The Alpha Badger has a super chat that says, take your money and remind them they can support you directly at habituallinecrosser.com. Just click buy me a beer in the top right for those that really want to. There you go. There is ways to donate directly. The YouTube does take a little bit of this here, these super chats. So, it's like a 70-30 split. Nothing against YouTube. YouTube pays me pretty well for my time, but if you guys want to just do it directly, you can do it right there. It's entirely up to you. Again, not required. I do like that idea about the U.S., the Marines versus the Gurkhas. I totally forgot what I was going to get into there, but I do like that idea. Aye. Oh, she said if they want to, they don't have to. I know, Mrs. Linecrosser, I make that. It's always an option. I agree with you, HLC. There you go, see? Why fear the Growler? Back in 2009, a Growler scored a simulated kill on an F-22. Did it? I believe it. Just again, what a Growler can do to a radar, it's fucking wild, man. Like, if you put the Growler's electronics suite in a stealth aircraft, that's the only thing like my brain can comprehend that is even more terrifying. Like that's the only thing. What if we just want to support you? You can get merchandise, or you can, whatever you want to do. If you go to just habituallinecrosser.com, you can go to affiliate links, you can go buy me a beer, any of that stuff like that. And I do appreciate that. I really, really appreciate you guys if you do that. You do not have to. I like Kashyyyk as Vietnam times 10. It really is. Military sci-fi, check out Smoke Pit Fairy Tales. Really? Is it a book? Is Smoke Pit Fairy Tales a book? I'm going to write it down. Hold on, I gotta scroll back up to it. Is the F-35's electronic suite better? I saw someone put that in the chat. I don't know. A lot around the F-35 is very, very classified. Like, we know what the Growler can do because we've trained for what the Growler can do. Like, there are ways to get around certain stuff. I can't go into even the types of jammers. The F-35 is supposed to be able to do that and then some, but I'm not terrified of it because I haven't seen it in action. Can the AIM-174 fit on the F-16? I don't know. The F-16 should have a thrust-to-weight ratio that could carry it, and so should the F-15. But I don't know if they could put that on there. You know what would be kind of fucked up, and I don't know if they're going to do it, because it has the capability, putting one of those on a P-8 Poseidon. Why the fuck not? Like, just fuck it. We're just gonna put that bitch on everything. Take our money, damn it. Okay, I'll take it. If I made a machine that causes lethal effect if set to certain parameters are satisfied, I've created a Terminator or a landmine. I believe it depends on the circumstances of the lethal effect. Because if it is making its own lethal decisions, you could be making a Terminator. But if it only has a single use and is based off of like mechanical processes, you could be a landmine. Feed them, not sink them, bud. Have a drink on me. Cheers. Morham, thank you so much, my dude. Crunchyroll. Is it on Crunchyroll? Okay. I don't even know what Crunchyroll is. Is that just like an anime streaming site? I've never even heard of Crunchyroll. My wife watches a whole bunch of like K-dramas, so she might know what Crunchyroll is, because I assume it might be on there too, but it might be a just Japanese thing. Russia, Chinese naval characters. You mean future coral reefs? I should find the oh man, what was it? The flagship, the one that sank in the fucking Black Sea, like right at the beginning of the fucking war. The Admiral Schwarzkopf. I don't fucking know. And I should like superimpose it underwater and be like, hey guys, I'm under here. I think that'd be funny as shit. Do I got any hot takes? Oh, yes. Hot take. You probably would have saw this on my Twitter if you're on my Twitter. The leg tuck in the Army. The reason there was only 3 types of people who couldn't do the leg tuck. Those who, number 1, had no measurable upper body strength. Number 2, had an upper body injury. Or number 3, their gut got in the way of their knees touching their elbows. We should have kept the fucking leg tuck. It was one leg tuck. Doubt. It's all good, guys. It's all good. Is directed energy radiation weapon a possibility? So radiation weapon, not so much. Directed energy, yes. Directed energy is alive and well. It's still functioning. The U.S. has had directed energy weapons technically since the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. We tried to shoot down a satellite with one at Hellsteth, the high energy laser test facility at White Sands Missile Range, and the test officially failed. I may or may not know somebody who've worked on that project. But I mean, yeah, can you imagine like building a laser in the late 80s that could shoot like 200 miles up and smoke a satellite? Fucking what? Why would America do that? It's fucking dumb, right? Sorry. Italian Armed Forces assessment when? Ooh, Italy is on my list. There's a lot of, so for a lot of the people who like USA versus, I love that you guys are into it. That's what I was going to get to. I completely forgot about it. So Chris Cappy, he is the face of the Task and Purpose YouTube page. So if you don't subscribe to Task and Purpose here on YouTube, go check him out. Chris Cappy, great fucking dude. You can also follow him on Twitter at like Cappy Army or something. I'd never met him before, so he invited, or it was me, him, Preston Stewart, and Ryan Macbeth, and we all went out to the AUSA Army Ball in Tampa. And it was the weirdest, surreal feeling. This guy, like, I grew up reading Task and Purpose and watching Task and Purpose. Like, it's a huge deal. And I remember, like, we just met. He's like, oh, like, we shook hands. He's like, oh, man, I really love your videos on USA versus the world, man. They have so much potential, and you have so many different avenues you can go with. And I was like, oh my God. I didn't know how to feel. It was such a weird feeling. That was probably the gayest maneuver I've ever had on stream. Someone's going to clip that. Fuck. Hear me out. Hypersonic missiles on a C-17. Fuck it, I'm in. You son of a bitch. Let's make it happen. How about a Rapid Dragon racket full of AIM-174? Instant no-fly zone. Instant, nothing is ever flying in there again zone. That's insane. But here's the thing with that. So I like it. Cool idea. The amount of power you would need to provide detection and engagement at those ranges. Woo. Moskva. There you go. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I couldn't remember the name of that damn ship. And besides, what was it? I just saw it. Devin. I couldn't remember your name. I remember your picture, though. When it comes to directed energy and radiation's not that bad. Not that bad. Okay. Mrs. Linecrosser is bugging me. She just broed me. When she's pissed off, she goes, bro, like she does that. What would you guys think? Or would any of you be interested if I started a Cameo? Cameo, for those of you who don't know, I would keep it like as cheap as I could, I guess. A Cameo is where like people ask, hey, will you know, they pay you. They're like, hey, would you do a, have the buff tell my son happy birthday? And I would just get in there and be like, oh, yeah, hey, how you doing, kid? Well, I want you to know it's your birthday, and you're going to have a lot more of those because Grandpa Buff is out there putting foot to ass for us, okay? As long as you're American. If you're not, keep one eye on the fucking sky. Happy birthday, you son of a bitch. Like, I could do shit like that. Would you guys be interested in that? And then, Devin, when it comes to radiation isn't that bad. At least C-band, it just makes you feel like every cell in your body is dancing, and you taste pennies. It's not bad. Do the Cameo, everyone. Yes. Okay. Mrs. Linecrosser, I guess, set me up a Cameo. Bert goes, how do we tip? So you can either do super chats in here. Again, this is entirely up to you, Bert. If you want to, you don't have to. Nothing is ever required. You can just hang out if you want. You can either do super chats through YouTube, or if you go to habituallinecrosser.com, up at the top, you'll see buy me a beer, and that goes straight to, I have a PayPal and a Venmo in there, and you can just donate directly if you want. Again, completely optional, my dude. Hard question, do you think battleships will make a return if we can consistently supply the power for multiple rail cannons? I don't know. I love a good battleship. I fucking love a good battleship. I think they're, hands down, the sexiest ship the United States has ever made is an Iowa-class battleship. Like, you can't prove me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, Nimitz carrier, fucking hot, right? Ford-class carrier, like, I love it. But nothing is sexier than a Iowa-class battleship. That being said, railguns, just like most modern artillery, have trouble. Okay, not so much trouble, but getting into, how do I word this? Because I'm like drawing the pictures in my head right now as I'm trying to explain this. Artillery flies like that, right? Just like that. Same thing with a railgun is eventually gravity will start to affect it and it'll start to curve, which will give you far side of the horizon capability, which is like the Yamato had that, the fucking Texas had that. Like you can reach on the far side of the curvature of the Earth, which is like 20 miles away is the horizon or some shit like that. The benefit of using missiles over top of that is missiles, especially cruise missiles, can use nap of the Earth, which we, in the radar world, we call it masked terrain. Just masked terrain. It's the easiest way to say it. And masked terrain is, think about it, if I'm a radar, I'm looking in that direction, you can't see it, but it's like a big flashlight. And let's say there's mountains and buildings. Well, everything behind those shadows, I can't fucking see. And that's referred to as masked terrain. So a cruise missile can use those things to get as close to me as it possibly can. Artillery, not so much. Now, granted, artillery is kind of coming in a pretty predictable path. There are other variations. They could do rocket assisted. And, I mean, there's some things they could do. So I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze there, if that makes sense. Meteor or Phoenix? Ooh. The Meteor has a cooler name, but the Phoenix is fucking scary. And I'm glad to see the Phoenix is back. They're just calling it an AIM-174 now. It's the Phoenix. That's good to see you back, Phoenix. Good to see you here, bro. Like, you're back. Play Ace Combat and laugh at its lack of realism. If I had time, there was someone got me a video game today, and I downloaded it. I haven't even played it yet. It's called, it's like the Nuclear Option or something. Yeah, Nuclear Option. And apparently there's like fighter aircraft in it and stuff. I think Weapons got it for me. Yeah.
Would you intercept me?
Wow, Furious?
As someone who may or may not have worked on systems you get to play with, it's always bothered me that we never got real-world use examples or feedback, so glad to have found this channel, to get some of that and extra entertainment. Cheers, man.
Thank you so much for your support. Furious, I can't even see it. Furious, I gotta scroll down to it, I'm still way up above you, but thank you so much, man. I'm glad that people like you exist, because I've worked with engineers, and sometimes it's the weirdest paradigm in the world. If you guys have never worked with engineers before who design these things, oh my God, Mrs. Linecrosser. So working with an engineer, they know so much about like a program and a system and how all the ones and zeros go and where they go and what they do. But like for us, the reason why engineers love having like soldiers, green suiters there is because we bring that tactical relevance to it. I was working on a program, not going to say which one, but I was working on it and I was like, okay, so what happens if we're GPS jammed and we can't in place this system without the GPS? And they're like, well, you need GPS. And every single one of us in the room who were green suiters were like, that's a huge problem. That's an enormous fucking problem. We need to fix that immediately. But engineers didn't fully understand that. They understood exactly how the system worked, but they had never really thought about GPS-denied environments. So I will tell you from my perspective, I'm really glad to have people like you around, because I bet my life on that system for the last 12 years, and I'm glad it fucking works. I'm very, very glad that they work. So the aforementioned honor... Oh, that was my kneecap! Son of a bitch! My knee's already bad enough. Honor Harrington series of bomb-pumped X-ray laser warheads for ships, missiles. It's a fun concept. Has a bomb-pumped... Hold on, the aforementioned has a bomb-pumped X-ray laser. I'm trying to follow so much right now. I don't understand. I'm sorry, Tom Anson. I can't read. I'm hooked on phonics here, guys. Oh, I gotta get caught up. Can I pay you in tornadoes and zins? Well, I don't do zins anymore. Well, never really did zins, but tornadoes, I will always accept tornadoes. Gayest maneuver? Didn't you wear a dress one time? That's fair, Devin. You know what? We're not going to bring that up. I did wear. So Mrs. Linecrosser is busy setting me up a cameo right now. We'll do a cameo. I've never... I did one with Ryan Macbeth. So somebody asked for a cameo, and they got literally me, Chris Cappy, Ryan Macbeth, and Preston Stewart all in their cameo for the same price, because we were just all there together, which is super cool. Emil, thank you so much. Raise Hale, Panty raid? Raise hail, praise Dale! There we go, gotta say it the right way. In honor of Prohibition, you should have a buy me an ice cream next to buy me a beer. Best part of the Moskva is they all knew the crew would steal the damage control equipment, so all of it except the saltwater hoses were behind a locked door. That's fucking nuts. That theft is that nuts. Furious George, thank you so much. There you go, I just got down to your name. I had no idea that it was, that theft was that rampant. Like, don't get me wrong, we all tactically borrow some shit in the army, but yeah. Surfed in from Fat Electrician. If you want something fun, Google Games Done Quick Ken Griffey. Dog plays NES baseball for charity. Seriously? Games do quick? Wow. Well, we're at our 2-hour mark anyways. Emil, thank you again. Bomb pumped X-ray lasers, an old concept. Teller said it would be the ultimate expression of nuclear weapons. The Horrorverse just stepped in gravity. Bomb pumped. I gotta look into this bomb pumped X-ray laser. My pen is not working. Come on. There we go. I'm gonna have to Google that because I'm not understanding exactly what you're talking about. That was a tonk. Yeah, I hit the shit out of my knee. Just had a Titanfall 2 urge and was wondering what your preference for North Star installer. But forever. So I use directly from the website. I just pull directly from North Star. I don't use an installer. I haven't played that in a while. I need to play that again. Also, that's with the new game that I was trying out. It's called fuck. I'm over here. No, not that one. I got too many goddamn video games and I don't play enough of them. I don't have enough time. Oh, there you go. The First Descendant. So they have something. I think it's called like Special Operations or something, where you deal with like waves of enemies. And I was like, man, this is fun for the first 4 waves, and then after that, it sucked. It fucking was miserable. There was 10 waves. I only went to 6. And then I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this shit. I don't want nothing. Damn, that knee hit made me fall. Jump out of my chair. I'm sorry, all squirrel. My bad, bro. What do I think of the Mark 18? I'm unfamiliar with the Mark 18. Can I get a hell yeah before the night's in? Can I get a hell yeah? There you go. All right. We're going to go ahead and hit this, guys. We're over our 2-hour mark. So every Friday, wow, that is really kind of loud. No, it's not that loud. It's just loud in my ears. So every Friday night, we are live for 2 hours from around 6:30 to around 8:30. I was started a little early today. So thank you all so much. As always, do not come into the 22 a day. Every single one of you are amazing. If you would like to support the channel, please go to habituallinecrosser.com. You can either buy me a beer, get yourself some merch, get yourself some coffee, maybe some gamer subs. I do like raw meat. It's right here. It's delicious. But yeah. And if you guys want to come back and tell me about your day and tell me what you're excited about, I will always be excited for you. My Discord will always be excited for you too. We'll see you guys next time.